Today, we're making my all-time favorite taco, Lengua. Don't let the idea of beef tongue scare you. This tender, flavorful meat will change the way you think about tacos. Plus, we're making our corn tortillas from scratch. Stick around because these tacos are about to be your new favorite as well. Now, I know beef tongue might seem intimidating, but don't worry, it's actually quite simple to prepare. We'll start by giving it a good clean, then we will slowly cook it in a salty vegetable and spice bath. We're talking 3 to 4 hours or until that tongue is super tender and the skin peels off easily. This is where patience pays off. The other thing to remember is that the water needs to be really salty because the tongue needs to absorb some flavor. So don't be shy with the salt. I almost forgot Old Bay adds a lot of flavor and I always add it to my lengua. Folks, low and slow is the key to melt in your mouth lengua. Once fork tender, we can pull out the tongue and leave it to cool until we're ready to peel it. Now let's peel. It should be easily coming off and separating from the meat without any issues. Just be nice and gentle here. You don't want to rip the meat off. But at the same time, make sure you get all that tongue skin off. We don't want any of that near our taco. If it peels easily like this, you know you did a good job. Let's whip up some fresh corn tortillas. It's easier than you might think. We're using masa harina, that's corn flour. That's been especially treated for tortillas. Just combine it with some salt and water, then knead it until it forms a smooth, slightly sticky dough. Once the dough starts to come together, it's time to get your hands dirty. Knead the dough for a few minutes until it's smooth and pliable. It should feel a bit like Play-Doh. If it's too dry and crumbly, add a little more water, a tablespoon at a time. If it's too wet and sticky, add a bit more masa harina. Once it comes together into a ball, wrap it up and pop it in the fridge to rest for a bit. This will make it easier to roll out later. Now let's turn those dough balls into tortillas. I'm using a Tortilla Press here, but if you don't have one, no worries. You can roll them out between 2 sheets of plastic wrap or parchment paper. Just make them nice and thin. Onto a hot skillet they go. We want medium-high heat here to get those tortillas slightly brown, about 45 seconds per side, or until you see those lovely golden spots. Just don't overcook them or they'll get crispy and crack when you fold them. Keep them steamy and warm in a clean towel. Now for the taco toppings, I like the classic cilantro, onions, and lime, plus a little hot sauce on top, but you can do any toppings you like. Our lengua is fall apart tender now, so let's get it ready for the tacos. We'll slice it into bite-sized pieces. Then we'll give them a quick sear in a hot skillet. This will add a little extra texture and flavor, but just a few minutes per side until they're nicely browned. We don't want to overcook them, just get a little crust going. Lengua tacos, folks, made from scratch with love. It's a flavor adventure that's totally worth the effort. So make them and enjoy. And if you try this one, let me know how it turns out in the comments below. Happy cooking.